What's up, Wiggle Butt? Oh, Jesus, yeah? You get some water or what? What is up, Wiggle Butt? What up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, man. Today we're gonna be doing some work on the Suburban, trying to I don't know, just trying to make the Suburban a little bit more enjoyable to drive. You know, it's already got kind of a nice sound to it. I really don't want this thing to be a lot louder, though installing a set of headers is probably gonna make it a little bit louder. It'll most certainly make it sound a lot better, I'm thinking. So today we have a set of long tube headers from Flashark that we are going to be installing on the Suburban, as well as something else over there inside of that box. This is an intake, in which the Suburban most certainly needs, because currently I have the factory one on here with absolutely no filter whatsoever. Just Mr. Old Floppy. So the exhaust on the Suburban, if you guys didn't know, this is a 2500, so it actually has the 6.0 in it, and it has the 4L80 transmission. It is a two-wheel drive. The exhaust on this thing is pretty massive already, like the factory exhaust, and it is a true dual exhaust from factory. So the Y pipe that actually comes with the long tube headers, this whole section right here, we are not going to be using. I'm going to try to utilize the factory exhaust. We're just going to connect the factory exhaust to the long tubes. I'm hoping it's within my skill set. So this is a direct bolt-on kit. We are going to have to do a little bit of modification to the exhaust side, but as far as the headers, they are just a direct bolt-in. There's nothing that you're going to need to do to the headers, obviously. All right, so if you come down here, you can see the Suburban is actually true dual exhaust all the way back, man. It's got 3-inch piping running all the way back. The only place is right here. They have replaced the cat, so that's an aftermarket cat, where I believe that's the factory cat. Big old freaking canister, bro. Looks like a propane tank. Anyhow, and then you come back here. This side actually unbolts, where that side probably used to, but they cut that off and then they added that section of piping in for whatever reason. I don't know. But yeah, it just continues all the way out the back, 3-inch, dual 3-inch, all the way back. So I'd really like to keep it that way. Well, actually, I guess honestly, I'd like to put an X pipe right here, but that'll be something we probably do in the future. LSs seem to sound better if they're either in a Y pipe or an X pipe, rather than just being true dual all the way back. But we'll worry about that another time, because right now I do not have an X pipe. So what I'm gonna do is actually try to unbolt it from right here, if it will. And then I'll probably just cut that side and then get this whole section right here completely out of my way, so then we can remove the stock manifolds and then put the headers in and see what it is we have to do to go from header back to this point. You know, that's my idea here. I actually just realized that I'm not gonna have to cut that one. It actually does have a clamp on it. It's one of those flat strap type, so that's good. Yay! Look who came out to join us.
Sadly.
Good old Rughead. Yeah. This guy has today off work and he is just laying in bed in there. I'm like, how about you come out here and give me a hand, bro?
I'm missing my bed right now.
You know? Why don't you come out here and help a brother out, man? Yeah. He wasn't happy about it.
Just whatever. He's gonna feed me after, so it's okay.
Feed you. There's some of those microwavable burritos in the freezer in there.
Yeah, and I'm gonna eat them.
What the hell? Alright, we got all the exhaust piping out of the way. So this is basically that section I was showing you guys down there. I did had to, for the most part, cut it to get it out because, for one, that big old sumbitch was not going to come out of there without cutting. Oh my god. Thanks for telling me, Braven. You could have let somebody know.
What?
You're just waiting for me to point the camera at myself to find out that.
Hey, it wasn't bothering me.
Yeah?
It wasn't, so I
Okay. Anyhow, dude, I want to go inside and clean up really quick, but anyhow, I couldn't get any of that out without taking out the cross member for the transmission, and I just don't want to do all that right now, so I said screw it, and I cut it out. Anyhow, now the only thing that we're left with are just the stock exhaust manifolds, so we're going to go ahead and get those pulled out, and then we'll be ready to throw the freaking long tubes in, baby. Old manifolds are off, and we're also getting to get rid of this damn EGR. I do have a block off on another manifold out there that I'll be able to put on my intake manifold, and then the rest of it is just gone. We ain't gotta worry about that shit anymore. So yeah, out with the old and now in with the new. Alright, so Flashark is giving you guys 15% off if you are interested in purchasing a set of headers for yourself. I will have a link in the description down below, as well as the promotional code. So basically anything on our website, man, if you want to go in there and basically check out their website. They have a lot of different products. They have a lot of other headers as well for different vehicles. So just put in the promotional code that is in the description down below, and it's going to get you guys 15% off. This right here was actually a kit. It came with the long tube headers. You can get them in the stainless steel, just bare metal, or you can get them black. I decided to go with black because I just, you know, the Suburban doesn't really need anything shiny, you know what I'm saying? Just keep it kind of simple inside of the engine bay, but this was a kit that also included the intake that we are going to be installing as soon as we get the headers done. I'll also have a link in the description down below to the specific kit that I'm using here on the Suburban. Anyhow, we have all the old stuff out of the way. Now we just got to get the new stuff in there. Alright, ran down to the auto parts store. I had to grab a new one of these little T pieces right here. So my heater core lines actually run over where honestly, I should have disconnected this or took my damn stock manifold out the bottom. I was trying to get it out the top, and all that EGR valve stuff that was attached to it, it just wasn't fitting very well, so I was kind of trying to stretch my heater core lines, and I ended up breaking the little T that goes back there, so I got to replace it. I already got a new one. That's this, and it looks all like weird on the inside because I got it all filled with sriracha sauce. God dang freaking plastic things, why they gotta be so damn fragile, you know? Why do you make this stuff out of plastic? Where's the old one? I left the old one in the house. There's the old guy. This thing is fragile as all hell, dude. So there's actually two of these up there. So where the heater core lines go into the firewall, it has these T's up there so that, because there's a section that splits off and goes to the rear heat. So that right there, this side plugs into the heater core for the front. And I believe it, yeah, this side is what runs to the actual line that comes off of the engine. And then this side has a hard line that plugs into it, and it runs down underneath the by the frame and runs to the back for the rear heater. So that is the new one, and that's what broke in half. This piece right here actually goes into the hose. The hose clamps onto the hose that goes to the engine, and that is like a quick connect that just connects onto there. But the piece of this one, you see it's broken, is still stuck inside of there, so I gotta try to get that out before this is gonna be able to slide onto the new one. Anyhow, all this stuff is all plastic and fragile and probably been on there since 2001. Gotta get that broken piece out of there, and if I can't, then I'm gonna have to go and buy a new one of these. And I'll tell you, dude, it was hard finding this thing. It's like they don't have a name for this. It's just a hose connector type, I don't know. And they have like 5 different ones, and they're all slightly different. So I'm hoping this one's even gonna work. Alright, I got that damn thing out of there. All those little freaking pieces right there at one time was the tip of this tube. That's crazy. Fell apart. Anyhow, I think this fitting is still good. I got it out of there without beating that rubber up too much. So that slides on right there once we get this connected and hose clamp back onto our heater hose. Grabbed another set of spark plug wires because once again we ripped a couple spark plugs, spark plug wires, taking them off. Things love to freaking rip whenever you take them off, so I'm gonna throw those on really quick. Alright, spark plug wires are all in there. Now the one last thing that we have to do, dude, look at those freaking headers in there. That is so sick. I never imagined the Suburban of all vehicles having a set of long tubes on it. Hey, yeah, one last thing that we have to do before I can actually start it. Unfortunately, right now it's going to be open header. Because, you know, I don't have what it is I need to connect that. All this piping that we took off of it, I just don't want to use that stuff. And I don't have a bender. There's going to be some like little bends and stuff that's going to have to do. It's just, for me, it's going to be a lot easier just to take it to my boy down at the exhaust shop and just tell him connect from here to there. You know what I'm saying? He can put it up on a lift. He has the bender right there, and he can just knock it out. Where it would be a full-blown ass project for me, and I'd have to order material. Dude, I'd rather have homeboy do it. You know what I'm saying? But anyhow, the one last thing that we have left is we are deleting the EGR, and right now I have a big gaping hole in the side of my intake manifold because that's where the EGR actually bolted up right there. So we need a block off for that. I tried to find one at O'Reilly's, and they didn't have it. We couldn't find it in the computer. I know that Speedway has one, so Speedway wasn't open this morning yet. I'm gonna try to run down there later, but for the time being, I'm gonna rob the one that's on the Blazer, because the Blazer does have that block off. It is that little piece right there, just held in with 110. Don't fall, don't fall, don't fall, don't fall. Thank you for not falling. Oh my god. So stressful. Yeah, that's it. That's what we need. And then whenever I do go down to Speedway, they don't have like the factory one like this. They have like a fancy like billet one, I think. So I'm just gonna put the fancy billet one back on the Blazer and just keep this one on the Suburban. Alright, now I need to go ahead and get these O2 sensors off and get them installed into the headers. Bro, I just torched this. I torched the pipe to make it easier to unscrew. You see those black marks right there? Yeah, that was my fingertips. Oh my god. So I don't know, man. I had to reposition this. I had to turn it, and I grabbed it right here, and sure enough, the heat from the O2 sensor, like, because I don't know. I wasn't expecting it to be hot all the way over there. But it most certainly was. And now my fingertips are freaking killing me, bro. I hope that doesn't turn out to be really bad. Anyhow, gonna put the O2 sensors in now. So I got this one and this one. And I don't know what it is I do about that third one. So this has 3 O2 sensors. I think it's supposed to have 4, isn't it? But this one is after the cat. Anyhow, I'm gonna get the ones in that I'm capable of putting in right now. Whenever we go to the exhaust shop, I'll probably have to have him put a bung in for that one. Or do I just zip tie it to the frame? I don't freaking know. I'd like to have no check engine light, if I can. Try not to burn myself again. Ha. Thing's still a little hot. Oh. Get that sucker screw in there. I should have got a wrench instead of the biggest crescent that I own. Ah. Nice and snug. Alright. Uno mas. Alright, both O2 sensors are in. This is the passenger side, and the plug actually goes up over the frame and it plugs in right there. Same place it did with the factory manifolds. And then that's the driver's side, screws in on the top, and then the plug goes up there next to the transmission. So I'm actually stoked both plugs reached just fine to where they plugged in before. I didn't have to extend any wires or anything. So I was under here and I was thinking, since I don't have the Suburban jacked up at all, so I have very little room underneath here, but I was thinking, since I did remove this whole section of piping, I actually have enough room to install the Y pipe that came with the headers. And then back there we just have the 2 exhausts. So this split off into dual exhaust, so we just have those 2 straights. So I'm kind of thinking maybe I ought to just run the Y pipe, because if I put the Y pipe all together, it will connect the headers and it'll come all together to about right here, I'm assuming. And then all I'd really need to do is order a muffler that is 1 in and then 2 out. So then I'd be able to just get a couple straight pieces, probably cut that cat off right there and just delete the cats, and then run a nice muffler that's 1 in, so 3-inch in and then 2 3-inches out. And honestly, that would probably make the Suburban sound better rather than running true dual exhaust going into a Y pipe. It'd help with scavenging also, maybe build a little bit more low down torque. Anyhow, I gotta get my ass out from underneath here. Ugh. So this is what I'm saying. Instead of actually having to have piping made to run the true dual exhaust like it was before, we could go ahead and utilize this Y pipe that came with our kit from Flashark, and then that would get us all the way to this point. And then right now I currently have the 2 pipes down there. I would just need to order a muffler that just goes from 1 to 2, and then it would just be straight connections. Absolutely no need to go down to the exhaust shop or anything. I'd be able to do all that myself right here. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. Let's go ahead and get this Y pipe fitted up down there, get it all clamped in. Plus, I think it's gonna sound a little bit better being a Y pipe. Then it'll be able to actually scavenge from each cylinder. I guess, I don't know, I've watched a lot of videos whenever we were doing the Blazer, whether I wanted to do a Y pipe or an X pipe or H pipe, and like all the different sounds and stuff that they have. And LS's, whenever they are straight dual exhaust, the way that the Suburban is right now, it's like you hear 2 different sounds, and it gives it kind of like an inconsistent sound. I don't know. A Y pipe or an X pipe would actually make it sound a lot better, and it does improve performance as well. So that's what we're gonna do, man. Go ahead and get all this down there. I'm actually excited to see how this stuff fits anyhow, so I'm glad that we've decided to use it. Bro, that was so freaking easy. Everything just slid right together, clamped up. I am happy that we chose to go this route, because this is really gonna make it so much easier. So let me freaking crawl all the way the hell back here. And yes, I know this thing is greasy as all hell. It needs to be pressure washed and probably some leaks fixed. But yeah, so now that's our output. I need to, like I mentioned, I'm gonna order a muffler. And I'm probably going to need some 3-inch piping. So what I'm going to do is probably just run this 3-inch back. And then I'm going to cut that further back there and put the muffler right about in this area, because there's a lot more room right here. But yeah, we're not going to be able to do that today because I got to order stuff. I got to get some 3-inch straight and the muffler I'm talking about. But yeah, dude, definitely stoked on how this Y-pipe came out. Everything just slid right together nice and easy. I'm also going to order some kind of header wrap. I might actually have some around here, but I'd like to wrap this crossover pipe because it's really close to the transmission pan here, and I just don't care to have that warming up the transmission fluid, but we'll get that wrapped up so it's not a problem. But yeah, dude, everything's looking pretty good. But now it's time to go ahead and throw the battery back in this thing and fire it up, see what it sounds like right now. We still have the intake to do, but I'm just excited to see what it sounds like. Let me grab this guy out of the way. We should be done underneath the truck for the remainder. We should be done underneath the truck for the remainder of the day. Alright, we are ready to start this thing. I can't run it for long. I still gotta top off the coolant because of our little mishap we had with that line breaking. Matter of fact, I ought to just put the funnel on here now. Ah, screw it. I'm not gonna mess with that, dude. I'm just excited to see what this thing sounds like. So, keys. Crap! Now where are the keys at, man? I'm freaking losing everything around here. We're really not gonna know what this thing's gonna sound like until I get a muffler in and actually connect the rest of the exhaust, but I think it's definitely gonna sound better than what it did. Though the Suburban didn't sound bad before. I'm just excited to pick up a little bit of power out of the thing. Still a little, not no race car status, but hopefully like a noticeable little difference. Yeah, we need to get a muffler. Holy crap, look how bad this throttle body is, man. That has got a lot of junk all built up inside of there. So we're gonna go ahead and clean the throttle body while I have this all torn apart. I'm being honest, I should probably pull the whole entire intake manifold off and clean the whole thing, but nah, I'm not gonna do that right now. Maybe next time. But for right now, we are definitely gonna clean this damn thing up. I have a little oil bucket, little oil change bucket I was gonna use and just use some brake cleaner and stuff, but this thing is so bad, I'm gonna go ahead and throw it in the parts washer. It needs some super clean. If you guys didn't know, that is actually what I have floating around inside of there. That's super clean that I use inside my parts washer, but I'm gonna use some fresh stuff just to kind of get a nice little bite on this thing. And we're gonna scrub it down. Who are you sticking your tongue out at? Lady? Huge freaking difference. So got most of the gunk knocked out with the super clean over there in the parts washer. And just some good old, what's it called? Elbow grease. The inside was like so tarnished, I couldn't get it off, bro. You know what I ended up using? Was lacquer thinner. It's a little bit of lacquer thinner broke it loose really quick. Just one swipe. So got this thing all cleaned up for the most part. Everything that I can see anyway. I don't know what's all down the side of the crevices there, but anyhow, I'm gonna go ahead and throw this back on, and then we can move on to putting the filter, the intake, the cold air intake from Flashark. We got a bunch of mortars for 4th of July, and baby didn't get to light one off herself, so yeah, that'll work. Now you got the light one, babe. Yeah, these things were dope, dude. Came with 20, what was it, 24 shells?
Yeah.
They said, and 4 of these cannons, 24 shells, and it was 140 bucks. Found the guy on Facebook. I think they came from Mexico. They probably bring them from Mexico, yeah? Either Mexico or New Mexico, one or the other. So anyhow, this segment was recorded in Mexico, like everything else, because it's illegal here in Arizona. I mean, over in Arizona where we're from. Where we have a house with a garage that looks exactly like this one, you know? Anyhow, back to the Arizona garage. Yeah, trick. Ah, you're supposed to stay closed. Son of a bitch. So I feel like we have all put in an intake on before, but they most certainly do include some instructions if you need it. And they've even got little pictures and everything. Look, step 1, step 2. We freestyling around here. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing thrown on. But remember, if you guys need an intake for your truck or car or anything, go check out their website, dude. Flashark is giving you guys 15% off. So anything on their site, the link is in the description down below. They got a lot of really cool stuff. I'm glad that I found them because they also have covers for the 8.8, the axle that we just got for the truck out back, in which, yes, we will be starting on that soon. But anyhow, back to the Suburban. I'm actually excited to get this thing installed, and it comes with a little heat blocker thing, but this thing had an intake on it at one point, and it's already got that. It's already got that little metal structure in here, so we won't need to install that because it's already freaking there, you know what I'm saying? Cold start. Doesn't sound too terrible, man, with the wide pipe down there, but I will say most certainly needs a muffler. So I'm not gonna leave the Suburban this loud. I gotta get underneath there and double check and make absolute for certain that that's all 3-inch piping, and then order a muffler for it. But like I said, that ain't gonna be in this video. I'm gonna have to wait for that to come in. I was kind of skimming through them last night. They have a lot on Amazon, Jeg, Summit. It's hard to find 3-inch in and 2 3-inch out. They're all 3-inch in and like 2.5-inch out. So I need to double check and make sure that is indeed all 3-inch down there and get a muffler ordered. But dude, this intake actually came out really nice. It's got a little bit of a whistle to it. I know you guys probably aren't going to be able to hear it because how loud the exhaust is right now, but it came out really clean, dude. I like that I actually have a filter on here now, so hopefully we can keep that throttle body a little cleaner. I do need to pull that intake manifold off and clean it out because I guarantee it's probably just as disgusting inside of there as that throttle body. Though at the same time, I'm kind of thinking about just maybe getting a Trailblazer SS manifold for the Suburban. I know it's probably really loud in here because of the air conditioning, so you guys have to bear with me, bro. It is hot out here in Arizona, but I have to say, dude, the difference right now in the throttle response and everything on this damn Suburban is ridiculous. I was not expecting anything like this, so I don't know what it is. Whether it's obviously the combination of the long tubes, they flow a lot better than the stock manifolds, I'm sure. And having an intake on there. Before, I didn't even have a filter, so now the intake is actually running with the filter, and it kind of has those little block offs, you know, to protect it from all the hot air. I think a really big difference was probably cleaning that throttle body. So I was having a problem before where my idle was like at 400. So now my idle is sitting a lot higher. It was idling so low that it was hard to tell this thing was even running, and it would actually die on me. But the acceleration that this thing has now, of course the Suburban ain't no damn race car, but it most certainly is an improvement from what it was. And I actually like it having a little bit of a sound coming from it. We are gonna tone it down, but it's nice. I don't think I have matured to the point to where I really care for my vehicles to be too extremely quiet. Holy crap. I don't know what's going on over there. But this is my spot, bro. This is where I normally do little pulls at for you guys, but not today. All right, I'm turning my air conditioning off for you guys. Let's get a good sound clip. Definitely a lot louder than what I would want it, but it's not terrible. All right, I'm gonna chill out before I get pulled over. Woo! Those headers really freaking woke this 6.0 up though, I'll tell you what. This thing needs some work still. Basically what we did to the throttle body today, I would like to do to the entire engine. Just go over the whole thing, get it cleaned up, replace, you know, get some new lifters in there, maybe even put a cam on it. I don't know. I don't know if I really want to cam my daily because of obviously gas mileage, but it is what it is. I mean, realistically, I don't really drive very far anyhow. I don't do a whole lot of driving. So if it's terrible on gas, what does it really matter? I'm always at home anyway. window up. AC back on. Front and back, boy. Yes, I am going to be fixing this here soon. I'm going to be replacing this whole thing. We got a lot of work we still got to do to the old Suburban, man. And who knows, one day we might actually paint it. Make it look nice too. I really love this whole thing, dude. I think the barn door Suburbans, the 2500 6.0 barn door, these things are kind of rare, bro. Like, you don't see them too often. They're all 1500s, you know, so. Anyhow, I think it's a cool truck, and I just want to put in the work to make it a little bit nicer, you know what I'm saying? But anyhow, guys, I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do smash the like button, and don't forget to check the link in the description down below. Flashark is giving you guys 15% off of their website, which everything on there is already really affordable, but it's even more so affordable for the DBFam. Peace out, guys, and I will see you on the next one.